My name is Scott Peterson, and I'm the head of effects at DreamWorks Animation. I've been there for nearly 15 years. After attending school in California, I happened to be interviewing at PDI at the time, which was hiring for the movie Ants, and that's how I got my first step into the industry, and I haven't looked back. It's been a great experience, learning all the different techniques coming along, and Madagascar has been a part of my career too. I was the head of effects on Madagascar 2, and now again on Madagascar 3. On Madagascar 3, one of the challenges was that we had a lot of built environments, so and we had a lot of locations. But the first location that we tackled was also probably one of our most complicated, which was the city of Monte Carlo. And there's a car chase that happens through that city, a flyover the city. And so my first task was to run a team of people to figure out how to make that city. It was really fun because unlike a previous movie that we did, Megamind, we needed our buildings to look much different. They needed to be look like they were hand-drawn almost, and to put that into geometry was a great challenge. Both in how we create the buildings and then how we surface the buildings, how we even set dress the city, because Monte Carlo is a very hilly city. It's at the side of a cliff and the side of a mountain and next to water, and it was a great challenge to figure out just how to create so many buildings and populate that whole area. Early in the movie, there's the first act has a lot of effects in it, and one of the challenging effects was to the penguins basically are driving this, we call it the luxury assault recreational vehicle, and this is a bit typical American car that it's maybe a little bigger than a typical American car, because they basically can smash through columns and buildings, and they crash into a Ferrari parked in front of the Monte Carlo casino. And as they drive away and create this wreckage behind them, the Ferrari actually completely blows up. And one of the challenges in creating that explosion was that we weren't finished when we had sort of created the very detailed looking explosion that sort of comes as a default out of our physical simulation. After we had created that explosion, we had to figure out how to fit it into this world in such a way that the simplified characters, the exaggerated proportions, the strong silhouettes, how do we capture that in the explosion? And we found some techniques that we could use to sort of reduce some contrast and play up the sort of humor of the moment. And really, I think that goes with all the effects in the movie, which is why it makes it so much fun, is that we're constantly thinking of how do we make the audience laugh a little more with these guys, because none of the effects are really there to be a serious or somber moment. They're all there to enhance the humor of the movie. I think that's what's satisfying for me, is if an audience laughs at an effect, I think that's how we know we did a good job. Timing is certainly part of what makes the effect funny, but it's also just kind of how over the top you might take an effect. So for instance, there's a fish oil slick that comes out of the back of this van that they drive, and at first the fish oil slick had a few fish in it, and these fish, then the director said, hey, why don't we get the fish to flop around a little bit? And as we started playing with it more and more, we decided, oh wait, we can keep adding fish, and by the end we had thousands of these fish that were flopping around. And just by going way over the top like that, and it adds a little extra impact, a little extra humor to the effect. And being from the effects department, if you're asked to go over the top, if you're asked to go, oh, we'll make it 150% more, we're going to go 500% more. Try to find those boundaries, and that's a lot of fun. One of the new effects tools we have in our department is a gas solver that we use, and we've used this on many movies before, but it's called Flux. And it's a tool that we wrote that runs inside of Houdini, and it's great because it's allowed us to create really pretty high-res simulations for things like steam and smoke. And in a way, it becomes more challenging in our group because Madagascar is not a movie that demands detail and realism. It's the opposite. It should look stylized and a little simpler. But rather than actually sort of going back to simpler settings, we use all the complex settings and all the high resolution, and then we go back after the simulation and we figure out ways to simplify. And I think that's a good approach to take, and it definitely pushes our tools to try to make them as high fidelity as we can. We share technology across every project in the studio, and we focus a lot of energy on, hey, how can we reuse this piece that you guys are making on the Croods movie, or How to Train Your Dragon. What'd you guys do for fire there? Or how'd you guys do clouds on Puss in Boots? And in fact, we very much used the cloud system that they had developed for Puss in Boots to create some clouds that Marty the zebra flies through in this movie. So we share a common technique across all movies. So what's great is that once an artist is done with a show, they can jump onto another show, and it's going to be familiar to them because all the tools are the same.